Hey everybody, Matt Barton here with this week's Broker Minute or Two, coming to you from our wonderful office in Union Park. Hey, so here we are. We've kicked off the 6th month of the year, June, and normally I get these questions. It seems like I've had a little bit more of them lately, which is agents coming on, hey, what's the deal with the market? Good, bad? I hear people are doing well. I'm not doing so well, or other agents coming going, I'm killing it. I don't know what everybody's talking about. So I wanted to put some flesh on that for everybody. And I think it's important not only for our sanity to understand some of the backstory, but also as we go out and work with our buyers or sellers, it's super helpful for us to back up our opinions with some level of data. And I haven't nerded out for a while, so I hope you'll bear with me as we cover a couple of numbers today. It's not going to be anything overpowering for you, so hang in there. All right, so I'm going to share my screen. The first thing I wanted to show you is this is out of Rapid Stats. It's basically reflective of all of the data in Utah, and what it is the median sold price by month going back 6 years. Okay, so obviously you can see, and some of it gets cut off on the screen, but we go up to the high point right here of post-COVID in 2022 when median sales price topped out, and then it corrected, and then it went up to kind of a new threshold. And if you're paying attention, this line is fairly static. In particular, I did some edits to this little graph here. My red line shows that in May of 2024, the median sales price was $510,000. And here we are just moving into June, and the median sales price is $508,500. So I'm not going to say that's coming back because there's little fluctuations in the market, but it just reinforces all of the months in between where the pricing is kind of stuck right around the median sales prices, right around that 510,000 price point. Not too terribly exciting, but it is good to know when either buyers or sellers are talking to you that we are at a minimum the past 12, 13 months almost pancake flat. And even if you went back another year, there's not a whole lot of fluctuation. I mean, there's 500,000. So, it might have moved up or down, $5, maybe $10,000 on a median sales price of $500,000. That's not percentage-wise very statistically significant. It's flat pretty much for the past 2 years. Okay, so let me go to the next one, which I spent a little more time on. And it's this one. This is the median list price going back 6 years. And obviously I've painted on here 4 boxes to kind of demonstrate there's power in picking up on patterns and trends, especially ones that repeat, because that helps us be a little more predictive in when we tell people about the market. So if you look at this first box, right, this is back in 2022. And this first dot represents May, then June, then July, then August. And each one of these boxes covers those same months in subsequent years. So the first year, 2022, during that 4-month period, list prices, median list price came back 11%. Second year, it came back 5%. Third year, it came back a little over 2%. And we're just starting this year's, right? So why does it matter? Why do we care? Why are you even sharing this with me? Well, again, being predictive, if the pattern holds up, then we should see median list price over the next 2 to 3 months continue to drop to some degree. What degree? We don't know. But if the pattern holds true, which I think it will, it's good for us to know so that I like to do this, right? If you're talking with a seller, very powerful to show them something like this, right? And say, hey, listen, I don't want to just come in and tell you need to reduce your price. I want to show you why you need to reduce your price, especially this time of year, right? The optimistic month of May, the high point, has come and gone. And now we see it every year to some degree or another, we're pulling back on pricing. Is that powerful for you to know? And as you talk with your sellers about price reduction, sure is. Let's flip the coin. If I'm working with a buyer who's one of the common arguments is, interest rates are still high. Okay, two parts to that question. You want to keep paying rent, in which case there's no return on your money, it's a sunk cost? Or is it a good time, given that pricing hasn't changed significantly for 2 years other than minor fluctuations, and we're in the downward portion of the year? This is a good time for you because sellers are nervous, which means they're going to typically pay more by way of concessions, closing costs, home warranties, repairs, whatever the case may be. Don't oversell it, but let them know that there's some fluctuation there. And, especially being aligned with Lifetime Home Loans and their ability to refi people when prices improve. And if you haven't been to our sales meetings, we've talked about this, right? Lifetime has a program, one of many, where you can do a 2-1 buy down rather than a permanent buy down of the loan. It's cheaper to do a 2-1 buy down, so that the first year, if rates are 7.25%, that 2-1 buy down is a 2% buy down. So your first year, your mortgage rate is 5.25%, and the second year it's down 1%, so you go to 6.25%, and hopefully by then, and yes, there's a little bit of a gamble there. Hopefully by then, rates have stabilized, hopefully improved some, and it's a good play for them because sellers will be softer on price, will give more on concessions, and a lot of times what you receive in those price reductions and concessions will far outpace what it's going to cost you to do the 2-1 buy down. So this is, really good information. Now I want to hit you with a third one, and then I'll be done. We track a number of things when it comes to the health of the company or what we're doing in the context of the company. I gotta go back here for a second so I can get the data on screen. Let's see. Come to this one. Nope, it's this one. This is the one I wanted to show you. So we do monthly tracking. We check the health of the company, and I'm not getting into all the nitty gritty, but it's kind of interesting to know that all that data that I just showed you, we're outperforming the market. Our volume, the sheer dollar amount, if you look at it, this is just a month over month number. This is the year to date compared to year to date a year ago. We're up 14.27%. You guys are working. Good to hear. The sides, the actual number of transactions is up 8%, and the gross commissions, the lion's share of which goes to you, we're up nearly 11%. So what's the takeaway? Well, it gave you some good information to share with both your buyers and sellers to add some intelligence to your conversation with them, and hopefully get them to do what's in their best interest. And then more importantly, for you, for, business calculus, mental health, realize you're with a company that with our systems, our organization, our support, our training is helping our agents outperform the industry, right? We're not flatlined. We're trending up. We're getting better. We're increasing our sales. We're increasing the number of transactions and the number of commissions that are being paid. So I like sharing that information because it takes some of the guesswork out of the conversations that go on very often. It's like, oh man, what do you think about the market? Well, I just gave you some data both about the market and the health of our company and our agents in the company. And I hope that helps you in your day-to-day business and as you help your clients. With that said, I hope you have a great week, and we will talk soon.